I'm Carissa Andrews, international best-selling indie author and CEO of Author Revolution. With more than 15 books published, it's safe to say I have made a ton of mistakes in my endeavor to become a full-time author. The most important thing that I've learned in the past decade is that indie authors need to protect their creativity and their serenity. Being an author is a long game, and that's why I'm on a mission to teach other indies just like you how to publish books with a sustainable, rapid release method. I created the Author Revolution podcast to give you insights and actionable step-by-step strategies to help you do just that. If you're an ambitious author or one in the making who's looking to create a long-term author career and a life you love, you've found your tribe, my friend. Let's get your author revolution underway. Welcome back to the Author Revolution podcast, my friend. Let's go on a quick journey for a moment, shall we? Whether you're at work, in the car, or sitting in the place you'd normally be writing, I want you to either think about or actually move to the place where, yes, you get those words on the page. We're going to do a very quick assessment and inventory. Come on, humor me. Once you visualize it or are actually standing in the space, I want you to look around. What do you see? Take in that quick inventory of the stuff that's there. Do you have everything you need in one place? Or are you sprawled out all over? Do you have a location that's centrally designed and designated just for you? Or are you writing from, say, the kitchen table or in your living room on the couch? Now, there's no judgment in this at all. In fact, when I first started writing, I wrote from my kitchen's breakfast island and sometimes even my bedroom. Then it was my living room. Then it was the dining room table. And eventually I upgraded to my own small standing desk. And there I was for a very long while. Thankfully, I now have a shared office in our home with a beautiful L-shaped desk that Colin, my husband, designed and built. But like I said, I didn't start out that way. And despite knowing better, I didn't upgrade my writing space very quickly. We just didn't have the space or the money for it. So I totally get it. However, I knew that in order to be my most creative self, I guess, I needed to be able to claim a space for my own. And that's why I always made a point, I guess, to do incremental upgrades to help me get to the place I really want to be. Now, I'm still not there. I'm not at my perfect place just yet. I don't have a specific audio studio, for example. I still record all of this stuff from my desk, which is a pain in the butt because inevitably, as soon as I hit record, someone will go to the bathroom, which is a room right on the other side of the wall, or my husband will come in and want to work on his own stuff because we share this office, or my kids will walk in. You just never know. So there are things I still dream of and I want to work toward having in terms of a creative space, but I'm not there yet. However, let's get back to you. As you take your inventory, what do you notice about your space? Is it neat? Messy? Does it feel inspiring? Or is it kind of depressing? Is it cluttered with papers? Kind of look around right now thinking mine is that way. But what colors are around you? What is the overall ambiance that you're looking at? Take a moment then and ask yourself, why do you write where you do? Consider the location. Where are you? Is it your cubicle at work? Are you outside in a gazebo or on a patio? Are you in the living room, at a coffee shop, your bedroom? Whatever the place may be, I want you to take a good long look at the physical world that you surround yourself when you're doing and engaging in your writing endeavors. Now, if your writing space is crazy random happenstance and you don't even have like a central location, it's time to put a stake in the ground and claim one, my friend. Research suggests that when you claim something as your own, giving it a purpose and an intention, you're reinforcing the message to your subconscious, to the universe, to whatever higher power you believe in, that you're an author and your writing is important. Additionally, psychologists actually say claiming your writing territory acts as a boundary. It gives you protection, security, as well as a defined sense of self. Well, shoot, that's pretty important, right? Now, when this happens, when you feel secure, you're meeting that basic animalistic need, and it allows you to open up and work within your prefrontal cortex. Now, remember we talked about that a few weeks ago when we were talking about trauma and anxiety? But when you access the higher brain functions, you're tapping into your most creative self, all because you feel safe and secure to do so. If you have a space already, then you're a step ahead, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper. So whether you have a space or don't have a space, I want you to perk your ears and listen up, all right? Especially if your creativity seems like it's hit or miss, or it feels like you could really use a kick in the pants when it comes to getting your prolific writer mindset hat on and get more words on the page. So here are some questions I want you to ask yourself. In your writing space, or in the one that you want to have, do you feel inspired? Are you happy? Are you alive, creative, peaceful? Are you stressed? Are you anxious? Do you hate the space but just don't know why? When you have some answers to these questions, I want you to then go a little bit deeper. It's weird, right? You start with one thing and then you go a little bit deeper. What do you like about that space? What do you wish was different? What would make your life easier? Say that again, ease. We want more ease in our writing life, right? What would make you feel more creative? So if you're a visual person, create a vision board or a Pinterest board for what you'd like your writing space to eventually look like. Now, if you're more analytical, kind of like I am, I'm both, but I like to create a list first. I don't know, I'm weird. Make a list. Use Microsoft Tasks or Evernote or just a plain old notebook and write down what your ideal writing space looks like in your mind's eye. Then the fun part starts. We start with making incremental upgrades to get there. See, there's something very powerful in the incremental upgrade. Not everyone has the ability to hop straight from writing on the couch to a full office and studio, right? But I bet you can paint your living room a different color, one that makes you happy. I bet you can bring in crystals or candles or implement some sort of music that gets your creative juices flowing. I bet you can afford a lap desk that makes your life a little easier while you're sitting on that couch. Whatever the thing is for you that would be the next step up, that's what I want you to do and see how much better you feel, how much more creative you feel about your writing. Now, I remember when I was working from the couch, see, I have so many kids in my house, and at the time I had small kids to keep an eye on, so I only got to write when they were playing nicely in the living room. So I upgraded from the couch to a standing desk, and it was like all of a sudden my creativity exploded again. I was open for business, and my mindset and the universe knew it. That's really how it feels. Plus, it helped that I could keep papers out. I know, probably shouldn't have too many papers, but it's just the way my brain works sometimes. And I knew that the kids wouldn't be able to jump up and grab them. I could lay those beautiful crystals out. I'm a crystal person. I am a Reiki master, so I love having different crystals and knicky-knack things on my desk. I know it's one of those girly things maybe. I have candle on my desk burning right now. But it all made my space feel more like mine, especially in the crazy chaos of my house. We've mentioned this before. My house is in a constant state of upgrade itself because my husband is trying to flip our house. So there isn't a lot of personalization in many of our rooms because they're literally in a state of remodel. So I have boxes of pictures or artwork or whatever that's not up in my house. So it doesn't, my actual home doesn't overly feel like mine right now. And so the more I can make my writing space feel like me, the more I feel like I'm actually at home. Maybe the same is going on for you. So I went from feeling like a creative nomad to having a home base at that writing desk. And in fact, it's still in here, but I'm using it for my printer instead of my computer, which is kind of cool. But it was awesome. So right now, right this minute, I want you to think about your space in your home. And if you don't have one, I want you to think of one you can put your mark on. Now, it could be as big as a whole room like I've got. Perhaps you already have an office, or it could be a corner of a room, maybe your bedroom. Or it could just be a small little table in a space that feels right to you. There isn't a right or wrong answer, but I do want you to tune into your intuition to guide you, because your head, sometimes it's going to deceive you. Sometimes it's going to be like, you know what, I don't really need a space because I'm just perfectly fine constantly working from the couch, right? I can do my thing, but you know what? Sometimes it's a drag. Sometimes the energy isn't there. Sometimes you're doing it and saying that just because upgrading is hard. I don't want you to think like that. So let's dig into what tuning in means as you go around your house and you're trying to tune into where could be a better space to set up your home base for writing. The first thing I want you to do is think about where you'd like to work and pick a couple of places in your home to be potential candidates. Just write them down or keep them in your head, whatever. Then I want you to go into each space one at a time and then just sit in the space. Be near it, be open, be present. Close your eyes and see how the space feels to your body energetically. I know it might seem a little woo-woo. Hold on with me here because trust me, whether you're spiritual or not, you're still going to be able to sense something in that location. You might not be able to put your finger on it, but there's going to be a yes or no vibe that's going to be existing right in that space. It could be maybe the light's not quite right, or the heat is really annoying right behind you, or it could be there's a blissful lack of commotion, right? Whatever it is, I want you to just sit there and just kind of sit still in the energy of it. Tell your mind to shut up for a minute and just listen to your inner knowing. If it helps, ignore focusing on the space then and turn inward toward your breath. Follow your breath in and out until your mind has quieted its chatter. Okay? Now, if there's any resistance in any part of your body or mind, I want you to move on to the next space. So if you're saying, oh, I really don't like the sound of the vent as it turns on, or the fan is really squeaky, or whatever, that's resistance. There's something there that's not jiving quite right with you. So move on to the next space. So yes, even if you think it could be perfect, even if you think it should be perfect, it has to feel perfect. Remember, creativity isn't always logical, so you need to trust your gut here. Finally then, if you think you found the right space, let's say you've gone through the couple of spots and you've tested them out, I want you then to up-level that test. Grab your laptop or whatever writing device you use and do a sprint. Write for 15 minutes and then record your progress on how it felt afterwards. Did it feel good? Did the words come easier? Did it seem like the situation presented itself when it came to a solution in your story? Whatever the thing is that you're working on or trying to write through or whatever, did that space make your job easier? And if you answer yes, then maybe it's time to set up a new home base. Now, assuming your sprint does go well and you still like that space, the next thing then is to start adding in those incremental upgrades. If you don't have that space in that location, you're going to want to start with an actual desk, right? Something that you can work from. Start with a fold-out camping table and folding chairs if you have to. It doesn't have to be fancy at first. It just needs to be a step above what you currently have. And if you currently have nothing, well then pretty much anything's going to be an upgrade, right? But there is a single, simple rule that I need you to follow every time you upgrade. I want you to remember that if it doesn't make you happy, if that energy of it doesn't feel right, get rid of it or don't implement it. Because ultimately, you want to be happy in your writing space. You want to scream to the world, hell, the whole universe, that this is the space and place I want to hang out and do creative, fun things. This is where I'm going to be doing my writing, and I want all of the energy to come here and be focused. And you can't do that if you're secretly in the background going, meh. Right? Meh. You can't be creative in a meh space. You need a fun, creative space that's going to make you very excited and joyous about doing the process of writing whatever it is you're working on. Now, on my list for this year was to upgrade my laptop and my desktop computers because they were, kid you not, 6 and 10 years old. They were old. And I also wanted to upgrade our printer. And thank goodness for that because that was the best thing ever. I'm just saying, when you have a printer that works, it makes life so much better. It's lovely. So I have been able to upgrade those things. And I've also added a desk calendar that I didn't have, a 2-year wall calendar. I don't know if you remember, but last November, right around Thanksgiving, we moved into the office. So there's a lot of cool things that ended up in this new writing space that didn't exist before. And it's helped me to upgrade not only my writing, but Author Revolution and feel more powerful and more secure in what I'm doing. Now, for the next 6 months, I plan to purchase an iPad. so that I can design book covers a little bit differently. For myself, I don't usually design them for other people unless I know them and I have the time, but it's something that I want to be able to use. I'm an artist at heart too. My mom was an artist, and so being able to do certain types of art digitally just sounds like a lot of fun to me. So what's on your upgrade list for your writing space? I'd really love to know. So be sure to head over to Author Revolution's online community on Facebook and tell us. If you're a student of the Rapid Release Roadmap online course, you can drop your comments inside the group. And if you're feeling really, really brave, you can even post a picture of your current writing space with a note about how you plan to upgrade it over the next 6 months. If you've recently upgraded your space, shoot us a picture of that too and tell us why you upgraded. Where did you come from? How did that evolution occur, and how are you feeling in your new space? Now, just a quick note, if you liked this podcast episode, I'm going to mention that some of this stuff actually comes from my free ebook, Right Frame of Mind. If you need to work on your prolific author mindset and maybe even kick some imposter syndrome to the curb, I know a few of us out there, right? Maybe think about downloading it and giving it a read. It's quick, it's easy, and you can grab it for free on my homepage at authorrevolution.org, or you can grab it directly by going to authorrevolution.org/write-mind. And write is spelled WRITE-mind. Now, one more thing, I would also like to mention that Rapid Release Roadmap is officially open. So if you are looking for a tribe of authors that are all working toward this prolific author career, look no further. In Rapid Release Roadmap, my signature online course, not only will you get the tools to plan, write, publish, and promote 4 or more books a year, but you'll also be part of a community of like-minded authors to connect with. Head over to rapidreleaseroadmap.com today to learn more and get signed up. Now, as always, if you'd like to download today's transcript or get links to the items I just talked about, you can head over to authorrevolution.org/86, and everything will be right there in one central location for you. 2021 is half over, my friend. There's no better time than the present to get your writerly goals moving forward. You can start right now by changing up the energy around how and where you write by staking a claim on your new writing spot or upgrading the one you currently have. There's so many ways to be able to trigger ourselves or trick ourselves maybe into being more prolific than we feel. There's so many ways to increase the energy around our writing space and around our writing time in order to do the things that we know ultimately we really want to do. Now, this is your year, my friend. You've got this. Go forth and start your author revolution.